In this video, we will take a closer look at a tool that is called LlamaParse. LlamaParse works with the LlamaIndex. So all of this is coming from Meta, but it's all completely open source. Our goal is, of course, to convert a PDF file, a CSV file, a Word document, or whatever in Markdown, because we can use these Markdowns a lot better to train our LLMs, to train our rec pipeline. So the first thing that we need is, of course, a PDF. And yes, this is an old PDF. This is an older 10K filing from Apple. And you see, like, it's a mess. This is not perfectly structured for an LLM, so you see all these numbers, there are links, there is stuff that is not perfect for an LLM. And if you scroll down, you have, of course, some tables later. So here comes the table, and also the table is not in a good structured manner for an LLM. Then we have also some graphs and pictures. So this is something that the LLM cannot do anything with it because you cannot click on it. So this is really awful structured for an LLM. Of course, this is an old PDF. This is just an example. And of course, you can use your own data. It can be whatever, it can be every single PDF that you want. I just want to tell you, this is not perfect for an LLM. We need to have this in Markdown. And in order to do that, we use this Google Colab notebook. And I have to tell you, I have found this Google Colab notebook, I think, from a guy on YouTube. But I am not remembering his name. But I think I have found at least a part of this Colab notebook. Down here I have added something in the code and I have extracted some other parts from the code, and here I will show you what we do in this nice little Colab notebook. The first thing is, of course, we pip install LlamaParse. Google Colab, by the way, this is simply the cloud interface from Google, so Google borrows us some GPU and we can run code here. And it's really that easy. You can copy this Google Colab notebook in your Google Drive. In order to do that, you simply press on File, and then you press Save Copy in Drive, and you have this Google Colab notebook in your Google Drive. And then we need to install LlamaParse, so we press play on this cell. Here is some code running, so don't be bothered by this code. We don't need to understand this code is simply running, there is running some Python code. This is always, if you see something like pip install, we always install something. So now LlamaParse is installed. And if you scroll down, now we can, of course, upload our PDF. The PDF that I am uploading right now is this PDF here from Apple. But here you can simply give every single link that you want. Everything that you have to do is, of course, to press on these files right here. Here you need to insert your data, so you can simply drag and drop something right here in it. I have already done this, and then you simply press on these three dots, you press copy path, and you can insert your path right here. And then you simply press play on this cell, and all of it will get uploaded. So right now everything should work. You also see it here right now, so Apple 10K PDF is now uploaded, so you can also just search for a PDF and copy this link and simply insert it. You can either do that, or you can simply drag and drop it and insert the file path right here. Then, of course, the next one. Here we need to import some stuff so that it is working, so we simply press play on this cell. And now the next step is important, because we need to have a Llama Cloud API key that we need to insert right here. And in order to get that API key from Llama Cloud, we need to go to Llama Cloud. So we go on this link right here, cloud.llamaindex.ai/API key. And if you are the first time on this webpage, you need to make an account. You simply can't log in with Google. Then you press generate new key. We need to give this a name. Let's just say Parse, and I press create new key. And of course I will delete this key later. I rotate my keys all the time, so there's no point in copying this key. But I want to copy this. Then I go back into my Google Colab notebook, and then we need to insert my API key right here where this command stands. Your Llama Cloud API key here. So we delete this, we insert my key, and then we are ready to rock. We simply press play on this cell. Now the next cell simply tells us that we want to have everything as markdown, and we want to have the markdown from our loaded data. The loaded data comes from content Apple 10K PDF. So of course it's this thing right here. Here is my file, so we simply press here on these three dots. We simply press copy path and we need to insert it here. I have already done this. So we press play on this cell and then everything will get included and we get everything as marked down. And then of course we can press play on this cell and we can see all this PDF. So you see we have right now every single thing as marked down, so all of it works completely perfect. We have everything as marked down. But of course this is not structured in a way that is good for us. So we simply scroll down a little bit more and here we can print out our document as text file, and here we simply print 1,000 characters. You can go like down to 100 or 500. This is just that you see how all of this is looking. Let's just start with 100. And if you press play right here, you simply see the first 100 letters from this document. Let's just say you want to see 1,000. We press play once again, and then you see how all of this is structured. This is of course perfectly structured for an LLM. This is the stuff that we need. And the next step is of course that we need to download this text file, and we can do that with this cell. So we download the 10K, but right now in .md, so this will be a markdown. If you press play right here on this cell, this will appear right here. If it does not appear immediately, just press here with the refresh button and then you have it. So the PDF, this is the normal PDF, and then we have also the markdown, and I want to download these. So we press download, everything will be downloaded on my PC. So I go, of course, into my downloads and I can open this up, and I want to open these with my editor. And it's actually this file right now. So you see, here is all my stuff as markdown. And this is of course a lot better for the LLM to digest. So if I open up my PDF file, I just want to show you the difference. So this is the PDF against my markdown text. Let's just make it a little bit clearer. So you see, this text, this is perfectly structured for our LLM. The tables, they are perfect for our LLM and not such a mess. And if you scroll down more, of course, every single thing will just make a lot more sense for the LLM. It's perfectly structured for the LLM. Of course, there is no pictures, there is just plain text as markdown, and you have every single thing saved in this file. And also the tables, they are a lot better for our LLM. But of course I have to tell you something. Most of the time there's a lot of fluff and we don't want to fill up our whole entire vector database. And that's why we can make a summary out of this file, and it is really easy to make this summary. And in order to make a summary, we can use this right here. This next cell will make a summary out of our text. The result type is of course markdown once again. This is the prompt, so we use AI to make this summary of course, and the AI gets this prompt. This is the Apple annual report, make a summary. And the data is of course this thing right here, so we simply press play. Then the parsing will start and we will get a summary that is made entirely by AI with our API key from the Llama Cloud. And my job is now done, of course, and the last thing that we need to do is of course to download these, and the file name will be Apple 10K instructions.md for markdown, but you can call it however you want. So if you simply press play once again on this cell, this thing will get included also in your content here, so you see it down here, Apple 10K instructions markdown. If I press on these and if I download it, I can open this up with my editor. And now we have our summary. So if I make this big, you see, or at least you should see, that this is a lot shorter. Yes, you see it also here. So here, if you see on the right side, this thing is a lot smaller than this thing. So here we have a lot less lines. We have simply the summary from our file. Yeah, I hope you can see it. So this is now a lot really a lot shorter. This is our original. I think this is like roughly half amount of the text. And this is our summary. So the summary is of course a lot shorter, and this makes a lot of sense if you want to train a perfect RAG application. So this is of course the perfect thing if you want to train a RAG chatbot, for example, on books. If you have, for example, a PDF with 100 pages, with 200 pages or something else, you should make it all in Markdown so the pictures, they get excluded. Then of course you can throw it into LlamaParse, and lastly you simply make a summary. It's really that easy, and then you can train your RAG application. The last thing that you need to take a closer look is of course chunk size and chunk overlap, but more on that in the next video. And as soon as you have everything as a summary or as Markdown, you can simply come into your Google Drive. You would come, for example, into this RAG application. You can upload your text file here. And then our automation will of course upload all of it automatically in a vector database. And of course, if you want to make a new vector database, you can create a new workflow with a new folder. You can also use this and simply change in what pinecone vector database this thing should get saved. But I hope you understand how powerful all of this is. In this video you have learned how you can use LlamaParse. I will give you one last time a quick overview of the notebook. So first you go on this notebook, then you can copy it in your drive. You simply press File and you save a copy in your drive. Then this will be saved up in your drive. First you need to pip install LlamaParse, so you press play. Then you can insert of course the link from the PDF that you want to use, and you press play. Then you need this right here. This is just that all of it is working in Google Colab. You press play. Then you need your API key. Of course, you will find it in the Llama Cloud. Then we use LlamaParse to make Markdown out of our content. And the content, you will see the content here. Then we simply print it out, just that it is a little bit nicer for us. Then we print it out as a text file that we can download, and this is the whole file. But you can also make a summary if the file is really big, for example, a whole book. And lastly, you press play on this cell, because here you can download your summary. And then you are ready to rock, because you have your PDF, your CSV file, your gigantic file made in perfect Markdown with LlamaParse. This is one of the best solutions that you can use if you want to train a RAG chatbot. Your RAG pipeline will be on a complete new level, and in the next video I will show you the last thing that is important, because our raw data is now perfectly structured for our RAG application. So see you of course in the next one, because in the next video we will talk a little bit about chunk size and chunk overlap. This is the last thing that you need for a perfect RAG application.